this is Samara Joy, Lush Life. Richard says, last is a classical traditional rendition of a jazz standard, Lush Life by Samara Joy. I don't know if she has her own work out, but she can continue to charm me with classics like this for as long as she wants. Absolutely. Alrighty, well, thank you so much, Richard, for sponsoring this song. Guys, let me know what you like and what you don't like, and Richard, please let us know if there's anything else we need to know. Let's do it. Here we go. That's beautiful music. Oh, that little descent. Hold on. Oh, gorgeous.
I used to visit all the very gay places, those come what may places, where one relaxes on the axis of the wheel of life to get the feel of life.
Gorgeous.
From jazz and cocktails.
Hold on. Okay, before we continue on into the song, I just have to comment. The very first note that she sang after that long intro, that intro was like a minute long, and then she came in so gorgeous. Hold on, wait.
To visit all.
This is so hard. Very great use of the glottal there. I was wondering, I forgot how she came in. It's so hard. Initial beginnings of things are so hard, especially like in opera, we have the same kind of thing where it's initial onsets and it's just, you have to get it perfect. Otherwise it's like, you know what I mean? And I have some of those, oh my gosh, when I was sick and I had to sing Must the Winter Come So Soon. There's a place in there, what is it? It's a night after night. And also, here in this forest. And you have to come in super sweetly and super gently. But the problem is I had no voice. So I was like, it was just death. So anyways, I always pay attention to initial onsets. It's very beautiful when done correctly. And she does a great job. Love the little glottal stop, but it's not too rough of a glottal stop. So it sounds just right. And then her richness just kicks in right away.
I used to visit all the very gay places, those come what may places, where one relaxes on the axis of the wheel of life to get the feel of life. From jazz and cocktails, the girls I knew had sad and sullen gray faces with distant gay traces that used to be there. You could see where they'd been washed away by too many through the day. 12 o'clock tale.
Oh, it's so gorgeous.
Then you came along with your siren song to
stunning, and she's actually using quite a classical style right there in this technique right here. Also, who has that? Bill said, so would she be a contralto? She's mighty deep. No, so she's actually a mezzo, just with a really rich quality to her voice. And honestly, some of it she's putting on, you know what I mean? Like there's a certain element of technique that you can use to kind of enhance the color of your voice. She already has a super beautiful natural richness in her voice, but she's definitely adding on to it a bit. But she's really not singing that low. It just sounds really like, you can use your throat to enhance that. So like, let me hear what she sings. I'll show you.
12 o'clock tale.
So you can sing it 12 o'clock tales, or the way that she's singing it, 12 o'clock tales, 12 o'clock tales. It's kind of a jazz technique. Sorry, not Laufey. Loewe. I always say that wrong because I read it wrong. Anyway, Loewe does a similar kind of a thing. It's like a... It's just this expansion of your little... what would this even be called? It's like right around where your lymph nodes are. You just like expand that part of the throat. It's almost like, oh my god, what character?
Oh, we're talking like this. Who talks like this? Okay, oh, like Dopey. Like you're talking like. Wait, what's the guy that? Oh, Boo Boo the bear. Boo Boo talks like this, and he kind of drops his voice right in there, and then he sounds a little dopey, but that's how you get that rich quality. Huh.
Does that make sense? And so she's using that in her jazz voice to kind of enhance that that feeling, and that technique just gives her that color. But see, she's really up there. But through the day, da, da, da. And she just richens up her voice in that section. Or in her whole voice. 12 o'clock tales.
Then you came along.
See, that's not low at all. Then you came along. Kind of that.
Your siren song.
And that's very mezzo-y song. Very, very similar to me. Very similar, which I love. Like, she's got a great kind of classical approach to some of her notes in there, which is a rare thing. I think, oh my gosh, is it Sarah Vaughan or Billie Holiday? I think it's Billie Holiday that also does that, and it's stunning.
To tempt me to madness.
Using very different classical techniques there.
I thought.
I love her play with the dynamics and the smallness and bigness of her voice as well. And I don't mean loudness. I mean smallness and bigness. You know what I mean? Like that's, oop, hello, she's falling down. There's difference in that. The dynamics is just how loud you hear something, you know? So if it's loud or soft, forte or piano, and then with bigness and smallness, that's not a technical term. But what I mean by that is she'll go from something like, I'll show you where she did that here.
With your siren song to tempt me.
See the time to me, so instead of time to me, that's what I mean by the bigness and the smallness. She also uses dynamic contrast there to make it softer, but in addition to that, she's also controlling how much she's actually letting kind of come out of her mouth in that moment, which is super fun to listen to and makes it super just like, it's like just yummy. I'll call it yumminess.
Siren song to tempt me to madness. I thought for a while that your poignant smile was tinged with a sadness of a great love for me.
Fantastic vocal control.
Ah, yes, I was wrong.
And beautiful vibrato. Lovely band.
Again, I was wrong.
Gorgeous.
Life is lonely again. And only last year everything seemed so sure. Now
a trough full of hearts could only be a bore. A week in Paris would
Ooh, love
ease
that
the
different
bite
beat.
of all I care is to smile in spite of it. I'll forget you, I will, while yet you are still burning inside my brain.
Beautiful.
Romance is mush, stifling those who strive. I'll live a lush life in some small dive, and there I'll be while I rot with the rest of those whose lives are lonely too.
She just sounds like she has literally like Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan and Billie Holiday living inside of her. It's so lovely. But then like also packaged up in like a little modern bow. I feel like her training really enhances the way that I'm listening to it perfectly. Not that I don't enjoy the rawness of the other singers that I mentioned. Like the old time singers had this just raw, natural, and not that they weren't trained. They were also obviously trained, but like it's in a different way. And these days there's so much attention to microphones and just like the sound that you produce in such a focused way, even in opera. You know what I mean? As much as some opera people hate that about the modern opera style, they're always like, oh my God, it sounds like a mosquito, but you have to focus your voice. Otherwise it just sounds like, oh, in a disastrous kind of a way when it's in a recording. So there's a lot of focus on vocals going into recording and being processed by the modern ear through headphones, through speakers, through that kind of method of music listening, you know, which the older artists didn't have to do necessarily. They also had microphones and things like that, but it was more so for live performance, and recordings were done through, you know, this kind of immediate in the room recording kind of situation rather than up close and personal and right into the microphone. I mean, you see her, she's standing literally with her face inside of the microphone. Like, she's right up on her, you know what I mean? And so that's a very different way of singing than before. Back then in the day, a lot of singers were like, ah, and you're trying to get your sound through the microphone and over the band. And so it was a very different way of performing than today, because now you don't have to push as much, but that gives so much more room to both being able to be very tasteful and, you know, dynamic and just changing the way that you can go from loud to soft, also having to control really how far you do go, and then also controlling how far you can go back, but going much farther back into those smaller, quieter dynamics than they were ever even capable of in the olden days, because you just wouldn't hear them. And then at the same time, you can get a lot of imperfections if you're up close and personal onto a microphone like this. And so the training that I think Samara has that makes her so special is that she really has such an exquisite control of her voice, and that is not always a common thing, but I feel like it's so important, and that's literally the reason why singers need to go to school and need to study and need to, you know, learn to sing properly, because if you don't have that vocal control, you're going to sound like doo-doo. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to say that, and please don't get mad at me, but like, you just won't sound as good. And with Samara, she's going through the registers like it's nothing, with all these dynamics, with all these choices. She's not acting like a student. She's not singing as though she's, you know, stuck in a certain box. And yet she still has this technical precision that allows her to sound so polished and so beautiful, and not as though like she's breaking or falling off or losing some kind of color throughout the voice and throughout the song. So it's really beautiful, and I think she's a very talented singer, just incredible. And it's really fun to hear more and more of her. So thank you so much to Richard for bringing her back to the channel, and hopefully we will have more of her because she's just such a special talent. I love her. I love everything about her. There was one time I heard her and I was like, eh, but then the rest of the time has been fantastic. Anyway, thank you, Richard! Everyone say thank you to Richard. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see another one of my reactions to an artist or group of your choice, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below what video you'd like to see next. Also, be sure to join Carmi and me on Twitch for our weekly live streams of reactions, music, and more. Don't forget to check out the links in my description for information, exclusive behind the scenes, and benefits. I am sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next video.